Yo, guys, what's going on? LuckyRave is back again to give you guys my live stream discussion slash review on Fairy Tale chapters 166 and 167. And let me just say, I know behind my two chapters, but it's not the worst that I've done, okay? Let me just say that right now. As far as Fairy Tale 100's quest goes, this hasn't really been the worst. Shoot, you go back to like the channel itself. I mean, Eden Zero. There was a point where I fell behind for like a year and a half, give or take, year and a half to 2 years, right? And doing that stream, whoo, as fun as it was, just doing that discussion took a lot of time. So being behind by two chapters, in all honesty, I'm okay with. I'm honestly really okay with, especially because 166 and this latest chapter 167, they complement one another so well. And let's just dive right into 166 here. Let's just start there. So chapter chat is called Keep On, and you've got this beautiful cover page with Karameel and Mercphobia, and it's Lucy like just noticing like Karameel like in her like dragonized form, with initiating the True Dragon King Festival as such. And Lucy's just like Karameel, and Carameel's like doing what she's doing. Magic. Did some power awaken inside her when she turned into a dragon? And immediately Lucy goes into Stardress mode, which we get the Aquarius mode. And that's actually kind of fitting given with what happens in the most recent chapter. I will eliminate anyone who approaches the water god. And Lucy goes on to say, like, I came here to help the water god. Aquametria. But still, like, basically, here's the gist of 166. And I'll go through it just so we just go ahead and dive right into 167. But basically, Lucy's on her own, and she's taking on Karameel. And what she's doing throughout this whole chapter, I think is really, really cool. And plus, for all the people that were saying that, yo, this is a bad idea, like, what are they thinking? Like, splitting up the group? Like, this is a bad idea. Like, on paper, no. No. Who in their right minds would think this? And Lucy's the first person to point this out. She even says, look, maybe splitting up was a mistake. And then he cut back to the Fire God's palace. And you see Nazi. Nazi's like, I'm back. Fight me, Nia. Huh? Well, it looks like nobody's here. That's weird. There were all sorts of people here before. No, somebody is here. Up here. And essentially it's Brian, okay? Brian's over here. And Nazi's like, you're the guy from the saloon. And you see how Brian looks like, and he's all dragonized too. That was my name back when I was a human. What's with the new look? You turned into a dragon? And you see exactly what happens. Like, he shoots the fire at Natsu. Normally with fire, Natsu's okay. Normally, right? But Natsu goes on to say, like, yo, like, I can't eat this fire. It's gross. And it's pissing me off. Take this, flames of justice. And Happy's just like thinking, justice. Like, of all things, we going with justice. For reals. For reals, for reals. Really. But Brian catches Nazi's fist and he says, I'm a dragon now. Your fire ain't gonna work on me anymore. And he's like, where did Nia go? He said you weren't even on his... The fact that he said he wasn't even on his radar says so much. He went after Black Ferris. He left me in charge of the castle. I'm getting hungry. I was hungry. Hungry. Rumbly tummy, rumbly tummy. And dude, like, first of all, it has been ages, okay? Like, I know we got it recently with the anime, with Ignia's dragon form, but seeing it again, oh my god, it is incredible. And he's thinking of himself like, yo, Black Wizard Ferris, the one with Agnologia's power. Intriguing. She'll be the perfect warm up. I'll burn the black to ash. And yo, Ferris senses this. She says, Ignia's coming here. I'll take him on. Oration Sex, you hunt the humans and dragons. And thus we cut back to Lucy, who's taking on, again, Karameel. And she says, yo, open gate of the Great Crab Palace, Cancer. Abby, Lucy, what's wrong? I can't. And Lucy brings up a good point, okay? Because he's like, I can't breathe. And he's like, but you're a crab. That's a very fair point, Lucy. You would think for a guy who's like part crab, being in the water should not be that big of a deal. But, well, learn something new every day. You learn something new every day when it comes to these games. Oh, I can breathe underwater thanks to my star dress. But the celestial spirits can't. Being underwater puts me at a huge disadvantage. And what basically happens for the remainder of the chapter, Caramel has the upper hand on Lucy. And Lucy's even thinking about that. Oh, it's that sound. That soundless sound. Yeah, that's the grating noise my heart makes anytime I think about Aquarius. It clenches. Aquarius is gone, but I wish she were here right now. And right when Caramel is about to do something, okay? This is where 166 leaves off, okay? And like I said, this makes for a good lead into 167 because basically you have a voice coming through saying, what are you spacing out for? And it's Brandish. Brandish comes in, knocking Caramel back, and Lucy's like shocked, like, Brandish? And that's the end of the chapter. And I will say, with 166, if I'm looking at just that chapter alone, I'll say it was a great chapter. It was a great chapter of Fairy Tale. Okay. We find out where Natsu is. So that's one big plot progression there. We find out where Natsu is. We see what's going on with Brian and his dragonized mode. Also, it's really cool. Again, just getting that acknowledgement from Lucy. Yeah, it probably wasn't a good idea splitting everybody off. Of course, the man himself, Ignia, back in dragon mode, going after Ferris. Kind of makes you curious how that's going to go down. And now Branch is here. Like, it is really, really cool. And it's really awesome to see, Brandish take part. But the fact that Brandish is here does say so much. Which now leads us into 167. And I know the title of the stream says A Friend in Savage Seas. Now, obviously, given the wording of the chapter itself, the actual chapter title is called A Friend Waiting on Savage Seas. That's the actual chapter title. And I had to compensate on the chapter, like on the stream title, because, well, there's a word limit on these things. There's a word limit. So obviously, even like, YouTube title, like video titles, have like a certain character limit. So you're stuck with what you get, But anyway, amazing cover picture with Lucy and Brandish. Without a doubt. Now, here's where we're at with 167. So Brandish kicks Caramel back. Dragonized Caramel, by the way. And Lucy's like, Brandish? And Caramel still trying to go for it. But Brandish ain't phased. She ain't phased whatsoever. She says, Command T. And Lucy's like, wait, you blocked it by enlarging the coral? And as that's going on, you're seeing exactly what's happening. Okay, she's doing whatever against Karameel, punching him back, and Lucy's like, Thanks. When our bodies got switched, was that your fault? No, no, that was an opponent's magic. Well, I guess it's cool. I had fun. And Lucy's just thinking, like, okay, so why are you here? Don't you sense it? And Lucy, immediately, as soon as Brandish says this, Lucy kind of gets a trigger. And she looks beneath where she's standing. And it's the lacrima, okay? The giant lacrima that Lucy's going after to stop the dragonification of like people turning into dragons. And she says this: the giant lacrima, the one that's turning the townspeople into dragons. And this is no pun intended, by the way. This is the key. All right. Lucy notices something within the lacrima. And what's the one thing at the very end of the original manga? What was the one big setup we got there? Key was destroyed, okay, back in Tartarus. And what Aquarius said is that somewhere in this world, my key will be reformed. Shoot, even like at the very start of chapter 1 of 100 Years Quest, episode 1 in this case, like Virgo tells Lucy that she will encounter some sort of reunion here on Giltina. And what we have here, you guys, it's simple. I don't even have to go so in depth with this. I really don't, because it's simple. You see the key. Aquarius's key is trapped within the lacrima. And Lucy recognized that right off the way. She's like, Aquarius's key? And Brandish, once again, lays it out flat. I followed its magic. What's it doing here? No idea. And of course, Lucy starts tearing up, thinking about Aquarius. And she's going right for it. But Brandish steps in Lucy's way. And she says, sorry, but this is the one thing I can't let you have. Aquarius's key belongs to my mother. She's not yours. But Lucy points out she's not a possession. Aquarius is my friend. Pretty typical, actually. Not too huge of a surprise there. But as this whole conversation's going down, Mercphobia is like right there, okay? He's right there. And Brandish is thinking, like, what's that? The water dragon god Mercphobia. A dragon? And she's just thinking, like, hey, where's that pink-haired dragon slayer who's always with you? And the fluffy cat. The fact that she says, and the fluffy cat, Brandish knows, okay? Like, Brandish knows that Lucy and Natsu meant to be all day, every day, 365, okay? As a guarantee, as a package you cannot go without. Obviously. That's super obvious, okay? And given that, I mean, Lucy just says, like, hey, they've got their own mission. But Brandish tries doing what she can. And she even goes on to say, like, even my magic won't work on a dragon. So that already goes to show you, like, even Brandish isn't able to do much against them. He should calm down if we destroy that giant lacrima. That'll be a hassle, but it's doable. And Lucy goes on to say, like, I'll draw Mercphobia's attention. Please destroy the giant lacrima, Brandish. I might just take off with Aquarius' key wanted to destroy the lacrima. That's not the sort of person you are. That's what Lucy pointed out to Brandish, because she knows, given from what we learned about her in the Alvarez war, and of course the few interactions they've had within 100 Years Quest, Lucy knows Brandish at this point. Okay, she knows the kind of person that Brandish is. So obviously, given that, she'll be fine. Okay, she will be just fine. Brandish notices. Lucy takes the brunt of the attack, and she says, Mercphobia, thinking back to how he was, you chose to coexist with humans. Your noble intent has been thwarted by Ignia. And the blast becomes too much, okay? Like, it really does become a lot for Lucy. To a point where Lucy falls out from the water. And then Mercphobia is about to chomp on her. Like, literally about to devour Lucy. Natsu pretty much deals the blow to Brian. And this is actually like the only instance of Natsu we get throughout the whole chapter. Okay? So you see this. He doesn't exactly knock out Brian, but he puts him in a corner. And he says, hey, where's Ignia? And the only thing Brian says is the age of dragons is beginning. And then you get the panel. Lucy within Mercphobia. Like, literally, like, within, like, his jawline. As he's about to, like, not even about to, he chomps on Lucy. Humans can't be dragons. And, like, this is the cliffhanger for chapter 167. And, like, this by itself has got a lot of people thinking, like, is Lucy dead? And quite honestly, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll say that right now. I'll believe it when I see it. However, on the off chance Lucy is actually dead, like, number one, I don't believe that to be the case. I really don't. Because, again, if you've noticed Hero's track record, Rave Master Haru Ellie, ship set sailed. Shiki Rebecca from Eden Zero, that ship set sailed too. No, and that's even going with Eden Zero. There is so much that Haru and Ellie went through in. That's a Haru and Ellie. There's so much Shiki and Rebecca went through in Eden Zero that there were times where you were just like thinking, damn, like, we're about to head deep with Eden Zero. And it did hit deep. It really hit deep with Eden Zero. It did. And 100 Years Quest for Nalu has done wonders for them. It's done wonders. And like I said, given Hero's track record, especially with his like main female leads, well, not even just leads in general, but like with characters, with the exception of Sieghart, Igneel, Simon, okay, Witch, Ziggy, all those characters, those exceptions aside, when death happens in a Hiro Mashima work, it's a big deal. Super huge freaking deal. And like I said, I don't believe for a second that Lucy is exactly dead. I really don't buy that. 100%. No. Definitely not. Having said that, though, well, like, if I had to play a percentage game, right here, right now, is Lucy actually dead? Like I said, I'm going to say no. But I'm going to humor myself with the idea. Let's say 5%. There's a 5% chance Lucy is dead. There's a 95% chance she isn't dead. So that should already tell you a lot, honestly. That should honestly tell you so much when it pertains to 100 Years Quest. And this chapter in particular, again, you've got a really strong cliffhanger. For cliffhanger purposes, this is really strong. Now, the question is, where does it stand volume-wise? Because if you've noticed, 100 Years Quest has this thing where its volumes are like usually taking up like a certain page number, right? So if we look at volume 18, which I think 18's I think is already out, but the wiki hasn't like updated it yet. But if I'm guessing correctly, volume 18 covers up to 162. Where we are right now with Hundred's Quest, basically, let's say like this: there's 4 chapters left before volume 19 ends. Okay, this latest volume, which is volume 19, there's only 4 chapters left before the volume comes to a close. And the fact that it's not like a crazy cliffhanger, like how, like, here's the thing: 162 was a really big cliffhanger because that's when we had Ferris show up. You know, you know, Earthland Ferris. Like that was a huge deal. It's like, oh shoot, she's Ferris, and what's the whole thing Ignia's talking about with her having something very, very akin to Agnologia? Like, what is that? And like I said, because this is not the volume cliffhanger, I think it also just goes to show you we're gonna get something else. There's gonna be something else that hero is saving for us. Okay? But the timing of getting this shot just before, like, getting Natsu's question about Igni, okay? The fact that you get that right before Lucy gets, like, chomped, I think is really telling. And I do believe it's going to set up something big for Natsu. I do believe that. In what way, shape, or form, I'm not sure. But here's the thing: because Brandish is already there, okay? The fact that Brandish has the ability to like regrow, like whether it's like big or small, like she has that ability, right? So given that, I'm gonna lean more towards the idea that okay, Brandish shrunk Lucy down to such a degree where Lucy's able to get out in time. That's the safe bet, 100%. But we got a big, big progression point on the story. That's Aquarius' key. We know where it is now, and it's within the giant lacrimal. So, given that, does make you wonder what's to come next. And like I said, right now, Hero can take this in a direction where we are not expecting a lot. Okay, he could actually surprise us and say, "Yo, maybe there will be a point where we don't see Lucy for like a given period." And let me be perfectly real here. I can totally see him pulling some kind of stunt like that. I really could. Be like, okay, yo, I know y'all love Lucy. I love Lucy too. But, we're gonna cut over somewhere else. And it would be the biggest thing. It'd be like, yo, what is going on? So, I do expect us to get some sort of answer within the coming weeks. Obviously, we're gonna get some sort of answer as to what Lucy's whereabouts are. And like I said, I think we are gonna find out in chapter 168. I do. And I do believe she'll be fine. But the fact that Aquarius' key is here, I think is saying so much. It is saying so much with the given situation. But my overall thoughts on this chapter, I'll go ahead and give it an amazing. It was an amazing plus chapter of Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest. I can't wait to see what happens next. And because of the last chapter, which I gave it a great, right? Great to great plus, arguably. The overall rating with both these chapters combined is amazing. They are an amazing rating altogether. And I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait to see with what we get with chapter 168. And it's going to be a really hard, like 2 weeks to wait on. But with that being said, you guys, that is pretty much all I have to say when it comes to live stream discussion / review. I'm LuckyRave. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest, Fairy Tale Hero Mashima discussions, and I or I should be saying Hero Mashima content. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Laters.